Hi, thank you for joining me today. We're going to work on just a 10-minute routine to strengthen our bones and strengthen our muscles. And we're going to get started right away with simply bicep curls because I know you're familiar with these, and it'll give me a chance to remind you to do your strength training 3 times a week. Because as we age, those muscles shrink and fade faster than any time in our life, simply because the body is not working the same as when we were younger. It's not quite as efficient, things slow down. So we have to take charge and strengthen those muscles so we don't become frail, we don't become prone to falls, and we can remain independent. So a minimum of 10 bicep curls, but they can be in any order. And use a weight that is heavy enough to challenge you. Not that you're sacrificing form and going backwards, but that you can just isolate those biceps and lift them up. We're gonna stop halfway and reach out, and you'll feel this a little bit more, and squeeze them into your waist with a chest press. And reach out and squeeze them in. I love this move because it shows you where those biceps come into play. For instance, if you're reaching out to take a grandbaby or great grandbaby and you're squeezing those back, or maybe somebody's handing you a package and you're taking it from them and bringing it into yourself, and you're really gonna feel these after 10 reps in those biceps, yes? I want you to stop a minute and I want you to tighten this core. Very important to keep that strong. And as you tighten it, pull up in that spine, and I want you to just relax back. Don't let you do that very often. Well, we're gonna work the biceps a little bit differently. We're gonna lift them up and we're gonna stretch them behind us, lengthening that bicep muscle. And as I said, if you're starting to feel these biceps, remember, it doesn't have to be 10 each of these, it's 10 total of that bicep. So we're bringing it in, stretching it back, and bringing it in, and you should take them back far enough to feel the biceps. And back, let's do one more. Now, before you come up, again, tighten this. Think of a girdle so that you're supporting your spine on the way up. And I want you to pull up and keep that tight because we're gonna work that core a little bit. We're just gonna simply palms up, twist to the side, and even take your neck, because I find the more folks can move that cervical area of the neck, the less stiffness they have in that neck. So we're twisting the obliques. In the back, you've got the latissimus dorsi, so it's also working your spine. I want you to do 2 little twists to the right and stop in the center, and 2 little twists to the left and stop in the center, and 2 little twists in the right and stop, and 2 in the left. So you should feel that in your core. I want you to take these weights and think of bringing those elbows up flat on a table. We're going to start to work the deltoids and then bring them in and lift them up, and check if you're someplace where you can see yourself that they're up level with the floor, and in and up. We're gonna add, now that we warmed up that core a little bit, we're working the deltoids and rotator cuffs, but we're gonna add a crunch for that core. Get lots of requests for how can I get rid of that belly fat. So we're adding a crunch, and we're gonna make sure we're breathing in and then exhaling out. Working the abdominal wall, and crunch, and breathe out. Now, at any time, if it starts to hurt, it's your job to set down your weights or stop. We're not here to feel worse tomorrow. We're here to feel better. And last one. I love to rotate between upper body and lower body because that gives them a little bit of a rest. So I want you to take these weights and set them up and down on your quads, not your knees. We don't want to get our knees mad, so pull them back to your quads. And I want you to press those weights down as you lift up your heels. so that we're working our calf muscles. So you're pressing down enough to feel those calf muscles working, because they're very important for ankle strength and foot strength. And up, and then we're going to do the opposite, our toes up and set them down, and our toes and set them down, and hold them up a little bit so you feel the shins, and up and down and up and down. Let's take a weight and put it all on one leg and lift that knee up. But this time when we lift it up, I want you to press down, and you're gonna feel a great strengthening of the quad, this is tight, and the hip area. And set it down and press up and set it down. So I'm pressing down, and somebody mentioned in my classes today, they noticed also they were really working their arms by just pressing down. So we're getting a lot done with just this simple move. Now I want you to take that leg and kind of step off to the side. So it's like you're stepping over a fence. You don't need to press down. You've got the weights for resistance here, but we're kind of like unlocking that ball and socket in our hip, kind of gliding it to the side and bringing it in. Now the other one, we're going to start just by lifting it up and pressing down. We want strong hips lest we fall. We want the muscles around those joints to protect that hip so we don't end up with a broken hip. That can lead us down a slippery slope on our health if we are laid up and not able to move. And up. Good, so isometrically pressing up into those weights and set it down and lift it up. Good, now we're going to take it up and over the fence. Or think of it out of the car. You're stepping out of the car. You need mobility to be able to do that. Or perhaps just in and out of the tub. And over and in. Very well. Whew. Let's just do a little stampede to get blood into those legs. And take it a little wide. Because now we're going to move on to setting your fingernails down onto that leg. I want your forearm, we're not doing bicep, we're doing forearm. And the reason being we're going to be working that forearm because just in the last month, 3 people I know have fallen. And both of them, all of them, fell out and grabbed themselves with their wrist and their forearm. And I was one of those people. So it reminded me how strong I want those bones to be so that I don't end up with a broken arm. So we're working that forearm. Make sure the elbow stays on your quad. And we're lifting it up and setting it down. And you should feel this. You can feel that forearm working. And like I said, if you can work up to 10, that's where we want to be. I want you to take that wrist and rotate it down. And rotate it down. Because again, if that wrist isn't strong, we might have trouble. So rotate it down and then level. And rotate it down. You can tell this is kind of my arthritic wrist, so it definitely needs strengthening and stretching all the time. And down and up. Let's come up for a second to give our back a little break and just lift those shoulders and set them down. Let's go to this forearm. Elbow remains on your quad and you're just simply lifting it up and setting it down. Strengthening the forearm and really working that bicep too from a different angle. Lifting it up and setting it down. Just ensuring if you stub your toe and fall forward and you have to catch yourself on the ground, you're not going to break that arm or wrist. And up, and let's work that wrist. We're going to bring that down. Can you see the difference in the mobility of this wrist compared to my other one? So it's important to keep moving, to keep those joints lubricated and strong. So I'm working the wrist after the forearm. And in. Good, simply heel toe in. we're gonna take that move. Let's all pull up in our chair because you know as time marches on, we just kind of get into that slouch position. We're gonna rise up, straighten that posture, and we're gonna step out of the car, but this time we're gonna get out, but, uh-oh, you left your keys. So sit back down and then get out again, and up, and come in. Good, and step out of the car, and rise up. Oh, you left your purse in there. Let's pick that up and then get back up and down. That just helps strengthen the quads, the low back. Let's do it one more time on this side. Rise up. Now, if you're having difficulty rising out of the chair, just attempting to do it will help strengthen those quads and your hip as well, because it takes strength in the quad and hip to get up and then back down, and up, and back down. Very good, almost done, folks. I want to go to our triceps. The most requested arm muscle that I get for people wanting more exercises for. You can take this other weight and set it behind you, because I want you to do simply a tricep extension in front of you. And notice today, I'm doing level, straight out in front of me, and I'm not dropping this elbow. That's why I'm kind of just making myself a little platform here, a little table, okay? Now, if this is not bothering you, then you can do a little longer extension up, overhead. But remember, if that starts to hurt, we don't want to rip something or tear something. Pain is just an indicator to you that your body is like, okay, that's enough for today. So we did 4 in each direction, and we're gonna bring that down, and we're gonna pinch it up just to send blood to it. Gonna take the other side, level, and simply go forward for 4, and 3. Straighten that elbow best you can, don't drop it, 2, and 1. And if that's not bothering you, then go ahead and aim it upwards, keep it in so it's not off in the wild blue yonder, and we're going overhead extension for 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And I said total, bring this down, pinch it up. I said total of 10 if possible, so we're gonna add on a few to the side. Keep this parallel with the floor, and we're gonna go sideways, because range of motion differences is very good for mobility. And in, but this time we're gonna take this across our body and touch the shoulder, and you're gonna feel a great stretch in that tricep. And take it over, and then we're gonna hug our ear and bring it across. And take it sideways, and take it to the opposite shoulder, feeling a nice little pull in that tricep, and then up by your ear and across. Very good. Oh, bend that elbow in gently as not to injure yourself, and then give it a little roll, sending blood circulation so we won't be sore tomorrow. And now the other side. Get this parallel with the floor and stretch it out and bring it in. And again, you're also working that bicep, and bring it out and bring it in. And then we're gonna take it all the way across to the shoulder, feeling a nice little pull here, and out. And then touch your ear and hug your head. And out and across and out and up. And I kind of lost count, so just for all purposes, we'll go across one more time. And out and up and out. Bend that in. Oh, and rotate that shoulder forward. Great for the rotator cuff as well. Oh, let's finish up with some overhead reaches. We're gonna go up and bring them in, and then stretch those back. You feel the triceps there. So I'm coming in to biceps, reaching overhead as to put something on the shelf or up in the cupboard, and back. And we're gonna add a little lower body by doing what I call a hover squat. And then reach overhead and stretch that spine. Now, right here, no plopping into the chair. I want you to work those quads and slowly move yourself down. So we're hovering. The reason we don't want to plop is they're finding people that just kind of fall back into their chair are damaging their vertebrae. They're crushing them one on top of another. And bring them in. Now, anytime this becomes too much, again, if your knees are hurting, stop. But again, this is not what I want, right? And in, and up, and in. Now stop here. Make sure your hips are going back, and I like to tell you to see your whole sneaker so that I know your hips are in proper alignment. So when I come up, the knees are behind my toes. If I push them too far forward, I'm going to push my knees out of alignment and end up with knee pain. This will be our last one, folks. You're doing great. You've done a great job. I want you to just gently stretch and put one down. That shows me a little core strength there, because it's so important to stretch out, because working those muscles, they can knot up on you. And then tomorrow you wake up and you thought you did a good job at the gym, but you hurt. So I want you to take this right arm and take it across your body. Right there, you're going to feel a nice stretch in that deltoid. And take the opposite arm underneath and then stretch it this way. Feels great. Take this arm and pat yourself on the back. No, we're really breaking up tension, but you should pat yourself on the back to remind yourself the good you're doing, taking care of your body. Then I want you to grab that hand and stretch that tricep. Again, how far? To a nice feel good, not like an ouch, ripping type of feel. Then stretch your wrist and bicep and bring it front and gently just stretch it down. Likewise, the other arm, take your left arm across and you'll feel a stretch there. The other arm under, wherever it's comfortable. And let's lengthen by grabbing that wrist and stretching that deltoid. Pat yourself on the back, stretch that tricep up and grab those fingers and lightly stretch. And circle that wrist. And then come to your bicep. Stretch it down. And up. Give me a chest press. And just round back into that chair. And straighten up. And repeat after me. Strong leg bull. Here's to feeling good. Have a great rest of the day.